Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Lostlegendstv. I'm Ray, and today we're talking Christine. In 1978, John Carpenter, and just throw it out there, I'm a huge fan of John Carpenter, okay? If you go back and watch, I think it's within our first 3 or 4 videos we ever put on the channel, we ranked our favorite directors, and John Carpenter's my number 1. Spoiler alert. John Carpenter can take a project and he can basically do it from start to finish all by himself. I mean, the dude is a great writer, he's a great director, and he's a great fucking film composer. In 1978, John Carpenter had the smash hit of Halloween, introducing the iconic Michael Myers. In 1981, he had the smash hit of Halloween 2. In 1982, he had The Thing. In 1983, John Carpenter took Stephen King's novel and he made his own adaptation of it. Both the novel and the movie came out the same year. I haven't read the novel yet, so I don't really know. I know the origin differences, but I don't really know the full extent of Carpenter's adaptation versus Stephen King's novel. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The movie starts out at a Chrysler plant where we see an assembly line of these beautiful 1958 Plymouth Furies. Every one of the cars is like this creamish, white, tannish color, but only one of them is red. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, Christine. An employee goes over there and pops the trunk to inspect it for whatever reason, and this unfortunate accident happened where the hood fails to stay up and crushes the employee's hand. Just a few minutes later, this other employee comes by. He gets inside Christine and turns on the radio. Now, throughout the movie, Christine will have this ability to communicate with you or other people throughout old music with her radio. So the bell rings and everybody goes to break. The first line supervisor goes and inspects Christine because he hears the radio on and everybody's supposed to be off the floor. So the shitter who got inside Christine, the supervisor opens the door and he falls out fucking dead. I mean, that's what you get for putting your ashes out on Christine. Fast forward to 1978, John Carpenter's favorite year. We're introduced to Arnie. Arnie is this very submissive, nerdy, parental-controlled nerd. And his best friend, Dennis, who is basically your average football jockey. So they're on the first day of school. Later on in the day, we discover that Arnie's being bullied by Buddy Reberton and his 2 goons. Now, Buddy looks like he's been a senior for the last, 20 years. The motherfucker's like 35. Buddy's an asshole and he pulls a switchblade on Arnie as he has Arnie's lunch. As he rips the bag with the knife, it spills out on the floor and Arnie trips, falls, and his glasses fall off. So this year the Buddy steps on the glasses like an asshole. So Dennis comes to the rescue and gives Buddy that hand. But sadly, Dennis gets rubbed by the balls by one of Buddy's friends and the teacher comes in and saves the day. Now, one thing about this teacher, he's gangsta as fuck. He basically tells Buddy, hey, hand the damn blade over or I'm going to take it from you or I'll just call the cops. Props to you, my G. On the way home from school, Arnie casts his very first glance at Christine. So he makes Dennis stop, and when they go and observe Christine, Arnie is immediately head over heels. Now, what draws him, I'm not sure if it's because he's vulnerable or Christine has a supernatural power to inflict herself on and pull him in. I don't know, but this is where things start to go downhill. So the owner convinces Arnie to buy Christine, even though it's not really worth the buy. Dennis constantly trying to talk him out of purchasing Christine, even though at this point, she's really rusty, she's old, she's dusty, she's beat up, looks like she's been parked for the last 50 years. The owner states that the car belonged to his deceased brother, who was the previous owner. Arnie buys the car, and his parents do not like that shit. They won't allow him to park inside their residence, so then he takes us to Darnell's garage, where we finally meet Darnell, which is one of my favorite characters in the movie. I mean, Darnell is like the nicest asshole that you'll meet in the 80s. I fucking love the character throughout the movie. So over time, Arnie spends so much time there, he eventually picks up a job for Darnell. You know, cleaning around the place, making deliveries, picking stuff up, running little errands, and in exchange, he can make a few bucks and scavenge all the parts he needs to fix up Christine. So as Arnie's pulling Christine inside the garage, Darnell tells Dennis that he knew a guy who owned a similar car to Arnie's and the guy offed himself in it. And yes, he is referencing the deceased brother of the guy who sold Arnie the car. So as time passes by, Arnie has a falling out with his parents, which is kind of a bummer because he has a real bangable mom.
Giggity.
So Arnie's appearance and his attitude starts to change, very subtly. So Dennis goes back to the guy who sold Arnie the car, and he discovers that his deceased brother not only killed himself through Christine, his deceased brother's wife killed herself in Christine, and their daughter choked to death in Christine. Now, I'm starting to recognize a motherfucking vibe here. He also stated that he made his brother get rid of Christine, but the car came back 3 weeks later. So Dennis sneaks back in Darnell's garage to observe Christine, where we then discover for sure that she has the ability to communicate with you because she blasts the radio and makes Dennis skedaddle out of there. So the next day at the football game, Dennis gets severely injured because he's distracted by what is a fully fixed up, brand new looking Christine and also Arnie. Arnie now has a girlfriend named Lee. Lee is the new girl at school, which everybody's been trying to pull, including Dennis. Lee and Arnie go to a drive-in movie where they're trying to get their smooch on. Arnie's finally trying to clap them cheeks, but Lee feels uncomfortable and bails out of Christine in the pouring rain. Arnie races over and asks her naturally, what's wrong. Says she doesn't feel comfortable in Christine, which he thinks absurd, which at this point anybody would really think it's absurd because who would ever think that a car is haunted or is an entity of itself. They talk things over and they get back in the car and Lee fucks up. She hits Christine's seat to show Arnie, to make her point that his priorities is fucked up.
Cut it out. Don't.
What? Don't like me slapping your girl?
And he's like, don't hit Christine. She don't like that. Again, it's pouring down rain and Christine makes one of her wipers get stuck. So naturally, Arnie goes out there, tries to fix it, and in turn, Christine locks Lee inside the car, cranks the fucking radio up, and all we see is these supernatural fucking light as Christine's choking on the shit. Like a big white. She eventually gets saved by the car next to her, this young man who does a Heimlich maneuver. So after dropping Lee off, Arnie gets inside the car and Christine won't crank. This scene goes to show you that Christine gets jealous and pissed off at Arnie. So Arnie has to literally butter her up and say, hey baby, it's okay, it's just me and you, nothing's changed. And then she starts up for him. So Arnie parks it in Darnell's garage, and right after he leaves, Buddy and his two goons go in there and they fucking wreck Christine. I mean, it's fucking heartbreaking to watch. Because I have two dream cars. One is a 1958 Plymouth Fury, Christine, and the other one is a 1960s Impala from Supernatural. The next morning, Lee and Arnie kiss and make up, and they go to get Christine because evidently Arnie left his wallet inside the car. Naturally, Arnie loses his motherfucking shit. I mean, who wouldn't at this point? You spend all your time, all your money fixing up this car, and these fucking shitters out here want to be dicks, trash your shit. So Arnie at this point is basically telling Lee to fuck off and goes to even push the bitch. This shows how upset Arnie is, and later on, when Arnie goes home and confronts his parents about it, his parents are trying to be actually nice about it, and they offer to buy him a brand new car. Of course, Arnie isn't having that shit. So his dad's fucking fed up with his loud mouth and tries to confront Arnie about it. Arnie puts his goddamn dad in his place, grabs him by the neck. It's like, hey Pops, this is what's up. I'm hitting the shack. Now that love tap on the face, that was a nice touch from Arnie. I mean, props, G. So as Arnie's trying to fix up Christine, we stumble upon the iconic scene where she reveals to Arnie that she has the ability to regenerate, to fix herself up at her own will. Of course, Arnie has to know by now that she's supernatural.
Okay. Show me.
So it's time for revenge. Christine goes out and chases one of the guys that helped Buddy trash his shit. And this guy has the audacity to ask him, yo Arnie, you ain't mad, are you? Nah, fuck it. Come on, Dutch. So after a relatively short chase, he gets power drive like the little shitter he is. That's what you get for shitting on Christine's dashboard, motherfucker. The cops start to get suspicious as folks start ending up dead, including Buddy Repperton, where we see a kind of stalking cat and mouse game between Christine and Buddy and his friend inside this car. As they play games with each other, Christine will ride Buddy's ass as Buddy tries to back up. I mean, it's like perfect sync, and Buddy cannot get to Christine, and he gets fucking frustrated, drives to a gas station where he gets out the car. Him and his friend gets out the car. Christine pulls in and rams the goddamn car into this gas station, which crushes his friend, but it causes a fuel leak, and it blows the fucking gas station up. Now, Christine is such a badass. She chases Buddy down the road, engulfed in flames, and thus we finally hear the iconic debut of John Carpenter's Christine theme, which is one of my favorite themes by John Carpenter. So Christine carries herself back to Darnell's garage, where she is heavily smoking from being burned. She looked like she just came from a fucking fire. Sadly, this is where Darnell feels the wrath of Christine. Now, he gets killed and crushed between the steering wheel and the seat. Sorry, D. He was a real one. It's New Year's now, and Arnie has fully transitioned from nerd to full-on bad boy. He's now drinking and driving. He is borderline psychotic, and you can tell that all his innocence is gone. I mean, there's nothing really left for Arnie anymore. It's just him and Christine. And it makes it very clear that any shit that comes between them, they get got. So Dennis and Lee key Christine in hopes to try to save their best friend. So they go to Darnell's garage because they hope to lead in Christine into a trap, and they jumpstart a Caterpillar tractor in hopes that when she rolls in, that they'll get to crush Christine and hopefully save this supernatural bond that Christine has over Arnie. So as they're waiting to lure Christine inside Darnell's garage, Lee's walking to the office to hide, and it turns out Christine's been there the whole fucking time. Hoping for Christine, we finally find out that Arnie's behind the wheel, and he's fully aware of his actions trying to kill them both. So after a battle, Arnie makes one last attempt to kill Lee as he rams inside the office. He gets thrown from the windshield and he is killed by getting impaled by a big piece of glass. As he's taking his dying breath, he pulls the glass out and he's caressing Christine, and Christine shuts down and she poses this tribute song to him in this heartbreaking song that's like, "I'll always love you." Christine is eventually crushed and defeated. So they take her to a junkyard and she gets compacted into a pile of junk. And that's basically the end of the movie. But at the last frame of the movie, we see Christine move just a little bit. Thus a cliffhanger of what could have been a sequel to the movie. Alright, final thoughts. This has always been one of my favorite movies. If I had to rank it, probably a solid 8.5. This is a movie I can watch over and over and over and over. And it has become one of my dream cars. I always will love this movie. This is going to wrap this movie up, guys. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you rank it. Tell me if you liked it. And if you want, tell me the main difference between the adaptation and the original novel by Stephen King. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe. But until then, we'll see you next time.